Hey everyone, this is Ms. Moffat from Across the Litiverse, and I'll be taking a look at The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. First off, thank you for everyone who voted on which book I should read next. I didn't anticipate having to break a tie, I'll be honest, but after reading the book, I was thankful it was The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet that came out on top. I hadn't realized how long it's been since I've fallen in love with an entire cast of characters until I read this book, and now that's all I want to read. Becky Chambers, you have spoiled me. Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer in a bid to distance herself from a troubled past and to find new meaning and new adventure out among the stars. The Wayfarer builds wormholes for travelers to jump from planet to planet, and this standard the crew's found the mission of a lifetime. They've been contracted to connect a distant, isolated system, aka the small, angry planet in question, to the galactic commons. The catch? This will be the first wormhole of its kind, which means the trek will be long, dangerous, and lucrative. The crew is a mismatch of different species and personalities, and their close quarters bring their differences to the forefront. However, the perils they face when they're out in the open draw them together and let their similarities shine through. At its core, this is a story about building family and defining a sense of home and belonging for yourself, no matter your environment and no matter your background, and Chambers did a fantastic job at that. Rosemary is the new girl on the ship, which means we meet all the other characters through her eyes first. Every character is so richly developed and fascinating in their own right that it almost feels as if you become a member of the Wayfarer along the way. Ashby is the hardworking human captain who's in a long-distance relationship with a woman who would be exiled from her species for loving him. Jenks, one of the mech techs, is in love with the Wayfarer's AI system named Lovelace, and he's willing to get her fitted with an illegal body kit. And Ohan is a silent pair referred to with plural pronouns, who is infected with a parasite that helps him navigate the ship through unstable time and space. Even the unlikable Corbin, a rather pale and obsessive algaist who gets in fights with everyone on board, discovers a haunting secret about himself that makes him all the more human in the end. Chambers is also a master of capturing cultural differences and the awkward though well-intended ways we try to relate to each other. For example, Syssix, the friendly reptilian pilot, comes from a species that's far more physically affectionate and sexually active than any other species. For her to be on a long-haul flight means she has to deny herself the physicality she needs to feel connected to others. For Dr. Chef, a Grum with 6 sets of vocal cords needs to synchronize his vocalizations so he can speak to other species. Despite how culturally and sometimes physically different the crew members are from one another, they always try to meet each other halfway. The Wayfarer couldn't function without any of them, and Chambers artfully reinforces this idea in the middle of every perilous situation. I was amazed that this book combined the hard science fiction that I love with the heartfelt, honest connections between characters that I also adore. In this case, Chambers explains the nuts and bolts of wormholes and how one might actually move through time and space. As I said, I loved everyone in this book, which made the ending that much harder to accept. I won't go into detail, but there were definitely some well-earned tears at the end. I know I promised to read American Gods next, and it's taking all of my willpower to not go out and buy A Closed and Common Orbit, which is the sequel to this book. I may have already looked at it in a bookstore, and the only thing that stopped me was the rough condition of both copies they had. But oh, it will happen sooner than you think. Overall, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm so thankful I read it. If you loved Firefly, you will definitely feel at home with the crew of the Wayfarer. I have no doubts about that. Inclusive, character-driven, heartfelt sci-fi? 1,000,000 times yes. I would take to the stars with these guys any day. As always, thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more reviews from Across the Litiverse. On that note, signing off.